Shit. Go. Videos take so much freaking space. It is insane. Okay. Let's see. I haven't played in a while. I'm just up to 80 hours. Again, it feels like there's still so much more to do. Was sidetracked a bit by finished Age of Darkness. It took about, I don't know, 10, 12 hours or so. But could have been way quicker, to be honest. And a few demos if you want to check those out. Otherwise, we'll continue. KCD2. There's a few minor things to do in the city of Kuttenberg. We can go to the monastery. And otherwise, we can do the main quests. Oh, for this one I have to go there at night. Not?
It's pissing. I'm sorry.
God bless you. Did you see the hole?
Schönen Tag. Was willst du, mein Herr?
When is the next tournament?
There is still some time to go. More than 5 days. But there is still time to sign up.
I want to enter that tournament you mentioned.
Great decision, Heinrich. You will not regret it. Als erstes, let me explain the rules, so you know what to do.
Right. Make it quick.
We have 3 Disziplinen. Die erste, Sword and Shield Combat. Then gibt es noch Longsword Combat. Schwertkampf is done in light armor. You will get all the equipment you need for the tournament, including weapons. Keine Sorge.
Don't worry.
You must use it during the duels and return it to us at the end, yeah?
Of course I'll return what I borrow. But what if I want to use my own gear? Can't I do that?
Not in the sword disciplines. Everyone uses the same equipment, so that only skill is the deciding factor. But in free combat, the last discipline, everyone uses their own weapons and armor. I recommend heavy plate armor if you have some. You can participate in all discipline or just some. It is up to you. Every entry costs some Geld.
Money.
And behave during the tournament, yeah? No funny business. And follow the instructions you are given.
How many fights will there be?
You'll face an opponent and fight until someone has 2 wins. They will then move on to the finals. There, the first one to get 2 wins is the victor of the entire discipline.
How many fights?
Who
are the other participants in the tournament?
All who are brave enough. Many local burghers, natürlich. It is a Kuttenberg tournament, after all.
What if I get my arse kicked?
Then you will make a fool of yourself. But if that happens, a bathmaid will take care of you. The first time is gratis, but every time after, that you will have to pay.
Are there any prizes?
Yeah, glory and recognition. Also, some beautiful and valuable things. Coats, armor, weapons, all sorts of things. The city's craftsmen quite liked the idea and wanted to show off their work. So they donated a few pieces as prizes for the victor. But the main thing is to have a good camp.
Fight.
Is it not?
Of course. What will happen if I sign up and then can't make it?
Then I will be bloody disappointed in you. If you do not show up, you will be disqualified from the discipline. No other way.
Enough.
Thanks.
So,
Sign me up.
toll.
All of them.
You know what?
Pay the entry fee.
Here are the...
I look May Lady on the day of the tournament. Or you can...
Still 5 days? No. Not gonna wait for that. So that's a Grandmaster in boxing, I think.
Are you whistling here?
Come here, boy. Look what I have for you.
Grab some food.
Get out of here!
Look at this nice bun I brought for you, she says. Doesn't it smell nice?
I can't say no to that, and you just have to taste my sausage. It's ready and waiting for you.
The two of them are having it hot, even if
My God! Why are you all covered in blood?
Am I? Shit.
We meet again.
So, let's see what we have here. My God! Someone really did a number on her. Oh, they ripped open her entire belly. And they didn't stop there. There must have been buckets of blood. Jesus Christ. There's hardly any blood left in her. The place I found her must look like a slaughterhouse. I should go there and take a look. Her lips are bloody, but nothing more. Tongue still in place. But if he killed her for blabbing, I reckon he'd have cut out her tongue or something, wouldn't he? These are more like chops than cuts. Somebody must have taken a sword to her. Knife wounds would be smaller, and an axe would have made a bigger mess. But it couldn't have been a long sword. That would have been clumsy. It was something shorter and nimbler. God,
Woman in the back is probably like,
that
what the
madman
fuck is
cut
he
off both her
doing?
breasts and bits of flesh. But what did he do with it all afterwards? Did he really keep all the pieces? Nobody could be that sick, could they? Her face is a little bruised and cut, but nobody cut her there. But she has a dark ring around her neck. Was she strangled? The murderer must have had pretty strong hands, and her hair is all matted with blood and hacked off. I don't even know what colour it was. Maybe there's something more to it. What if the murderer kept her hair like some kind of sick trophy?
What have they done to you?
Just some scratches and bruises, that's all. The killer probably surprised her. She didn't even have time to defend herself. So, the murderer must have awfully strong hands, because he strangled her and left a dark ring around her neck. Then he took a short sword or saber and started hacking at her. She's missing parts of her torso, but they aren't by the body. He also cut off most of her hair. He cut off her breasts, but left her tongue. Then left her lying there for all to see. To send a message, maybe? Or a warning? Only if it was a warning for telltales, he would have cut out her tongue or something, wouldn't he? I don't know why he killed her, but I don't think it's because of Catherine. What's the matter? Did you know her?
Alice. She was almost like a sister to me. We served together for years, in the same house. Why'd you ask? Who are you?
I'm trying to find out who did this to her. I'm afraid the killer might want to go after my friend as well.
Ah, I understand.
Who did you serve?
Our master is a local merchant. He is trying his hand at trading wine.
How did Alice get along with your master?
Fine. Just like with everyone. Our master is a bit strict, but he's fair.
What's his name? Can I speak to him?
Why? But you can't see him anyway. He's on a trade trip to Prague.
It occurred to me that maybe he could have done it.
He couldn't. He was gone when it happened. He hadn't been home in several weeks. And besides, why would he kill them others too? He never even knew them.
What
Others?
You haven't heard?
No.
A few girls, like our Alice, died before. All really pretty girls.
This is like a Jack the Ripper
Do you know
situation.
of any suitors she might have had?
I know she was seeing someone. Why?
I'd like to talk to him as well.
But I don't know who it was. Alice said he was rich and dressed nicely. But she promised him she'd never tell anyone his name.
And you never saw him?
No, never. I don't even know where she met with him.
Do you know what exactly happened to Alice?
No. Nobody saw or heard nothing. One day, she just didn't come home. And then they found her. Like this.
It's awful what they did to her.
She was such a pretty girl. And that beautiful brown hair of hers. And it didn't even leave that untouched. Who could have cut off her hair like that? And why? None of it makes sense.
So, I'll leave you to mourn in peace now.
Could be someone who was has traumatic experience and do similar things to him. So let's check out the. I guess we need to check out the other girls and if they also had brown hair and all that stuff.
I think I heard about you in a fight club.
Really? About me? What did they tell you? And who, pray tell, are you?
Well, first things first, I'm Henry. From Skalitz.
František is my name.
They told me I'd find the strongest competitor here. If it's not you, then I must be looking for some ghost.
I know this place like the back of my hand, and I've never seen a spook here. So I reckon you really are looking for me.
How does a city gravedigger like you become the best fighter in the area?
From necessity. The cemetery looks like a quiet place, but at night it can get pretty lively.
So I wasn't far from the truth with those ghosts.
I take good care of the cemetery, so the deceased rest in peace and wouldn't even think of haunting anyone. But I'm always chasing out drunkards and young couples who disturb the peace and quiet here. Mine and all those under the ground.
Do you still go and fight people just for fun once in a while?
I used to do it all the time. I went to the tavern after work and picked a fight with whoever crossed my path. I've even spent a few nights under lock and key when I overdid it.
That sounds like quite a wild youth.
Water under the bridge. I've turned a new leaf. I'm even on the bailiff's good side nowadays. That's because I can handle guarding this place all on my own.
I challenge you to a fight. Man to man.
Mano,
Now,
mano.
broad daylight. Someone will see us and there'll be trouble. Come at night. It'll be quiet and no one will disturb us.
All right then.
Don't just say like everyone's coming at night.
You must be the local gravedigger.
That's right. They call me František. At least them that can speak do. Ha!
I'm Henry.
Greetings, Henry. What do you need?
That dead girl you have in the morgue. Alice.
You've seen her? Poor thing. Who could have done such a thing?
Well, that's what I'm trying to find out. Do you know anything about her?
She's gone to meet her maker. What more do you want to know? You want to take away a piece of her? Well, you can't. Not a hair off her head, a bloody scrap of cloth, or a thumb. You hear?
Well, I don't want to take anything. I need to find something out.
Like what exactly?
Who killed her?
Why?
Well, I'm worried something might happen to my friend.
That's true. She wasn't the first, and we can only pray that she'll be the last. It's true that Lumiere ain't shown no interest in her yet. I wouldn't expect that from him no more.
Who's this Lumiere? Another one of those gawkers and collectors?
No, no. He actually tried to help.
Help? How?
Well, he was investigating them others.
Right. You said she wasn't the first.
Aye. We had a couple of similar cases. Lumiere said they was all killed by the same murderer.
And how did he come to that conclusion?
How do I know? Best ask Lumiere yourself.
Do you remember how many girls were killed?
You mean you don't know nothing about it? Here, even the sparrows are squawking about it.
I haven't been in Kuttenberg very long.
I see. There's been one every few weeks for the past year.
Do you know where the last one got killed?
I heard some talk about it when they brought her here. But what do you want to do there?
Look for clues. Footprints, blood, anything.
That can help you?
That's worth a try.
I heard she was killed by the town walls, close to the Hole in the Wall, a dodgy tavern in the Hoprink neighborhood.
Thanks. What's this Lumiere got to do with this?
Well, like I told you, he used to work for the bailiff. I think he was a scribe.
A scribe keeps records in the Black Chronicle, though I've never heard of one doing his own investigations.
Well, the old bailiff wasn't all that interested in the common folk. But Lumiere, he was quite helpful. Folk heard about it and went to him with whatever was troubling them.
I'd like to speak with Lumiere. Do you know where I can find him?
At his home in Bohemia Street, that's near the church. You won't find him at the bailiff's no more. I don't know exactly why, though. Seems he had some quarrel with the bailiff.
Thanks.
It's my pleasure. It's actually... Wait a mo. Speaking of the living, there's a girl what comes here and grieves over that dead maid. I think her name is Barbara.
I know. I've already spoken to her.
Aha. Good then. Lots of luck to you.
Okay, so... Oh, it's quite right across the street. How... is that? We go into the church. Seems to be a no. A indulgence. I haven't done that once. I should maybe do that at some point. Just to see what happens, basically. Like, I just don't know what happens. Let's talk to Lumiere.
We need to talk.
God be with you,
God bless you.
It's not my fault it's here. I'd go a different way if I
I
could.
went to confession yesterday, and that old priest was
And if I
completely hammered
refuse?
again.
Then you can find a different way.
Apparently my greatest
Fine.
sin is that I have such nice breasts,
wasn't hard,
and my
was
second
it?
greatest, that I don't want to show them to him.
Christ, what's the world coming to? 2 popes, heretics.
You're always welcome here, noble sir.
Lumiere?
Oh. Christ, my head.
Not so loud.
I need to ask you something.
I said not so loud. I have a splitting headache.
That's some hangover. He's useless to me like this. Unless I'm willing to wait for him to sleep it off, I'll have to get him some kind of cure or potion. This should sober him up. No, not that. Ah, nothing.
More booze. Christ. I'm gonna puke.
Drink up. It'll make you feel better.
Better already. Wait, what? Who? What
It's
are you
true, by the
doing
way.
here?
Alcohol binds
Who
alcohol.
are you?
My name is Henry.
So if you
And
ever
what do you want from me?
I'm trying to find out who killed a certain girl. And I was sent to you.
To me? What for?
Are you Lumiere from the Rat House? The scribe?
I used to be. Now I'm just Lumiere the Madman.
Yeah, alcohol binds alcohol. So if you have a hangover, I think you can. Nah. I mean, if you're still completely wasted, you can later on drink then a bit of alcohol to bind it. Next morning, basically. But it's not the best solution, though. Just some fatty stuff. Sprite helps.
They say that about you. Why?
Because I was just on some wild goose chase. And what came of it? Absolutely nothing.
But I need your help.
If I were you, lad, I'd leave it be. You can't help that girl anymore, anyway. You'll just end up hurting yourself.
Come now, Lumiere.
Poor girls. Nobody was all that interested in it, except for me. We let it be in the end. We let a monster walk among us. No way. You can't solve this yourself.
I need to know the truth. To find the one responsible.
I appreciate your enthusiasm, lad. But it's no use. I searched high and low. And what did I get out of it? Just mockery. What makes you think you can find out more than I did?
Because I'm not stupid, and I notice things. I've successfully solved a murder before.
Is that so? A murder investigation under your belt. And educated and observant, too.
Well, I said I'm not stupid. Not that I'm educated. I can read and write, too. Sometimes even count.
If only more people knew the difference. All right. Talk to me. Who was this dead girl?
Her name was Alice. She worked as a maid.
A maid? That fits. Yarka was a maid, too. As were most of the other victims. What did she look like? What did he do to her?
I think that he strangled her first, and then went at her with a longer blade and disemboweled her.
Did you notice the strangulation right away? It took me a while. Maybe you really will track him down.
Do you think it's the same murder?
Counting your girl, that makes 6 victims who were first strangled and then mutilated. If it's not all the same person, they must be collaborating somehow.
This is the 6th one. How long has he been killing?
Probably about a year now. Sometimes it takes him months, sometimes weeks. But I'm including missing girls. Stanya and Zdena.
Why are you counting the missing girls?
Because I think someone killed them, and we just haven't found them yet.
Did the dead girls have anything in common?
Aside from being pretty young girls with no proper family or background, no. I couldn't find much.
Do you think somebody is killing them because they're poor, and nobody will miss them?
Certainly. If somebody killed the daughter of a local lord, no stone would be left unturned.
But why does he even kill in the first place?
I don't know. Maybe he hates women. Damn it. I feel like I'm going in circles and can't get out.
Why were you looking into it? Who were those dead girls to you?
I don't know what people told you about me, but for many long years I was a scribe for Kuttenberg's bailiff. Kuttenberg is a big city with a lot of people. Silver, silver, silver. Mining it, smelting it, stealing it. There's always something going on. The bailiff was always running from hell to Hades, from one rich man to another. settling their quarrels. Often trivial nonsense.
But there are more than just rich burghers and lords in the city.
Exactly. There are common folk too. There's a lot more of them, and their troubles are usually more serious. So when one of them came to the bailiffs one time, and the bailiff was running around somewhere, I started to deal with it myself. I was pretty good at it too.
Behind the bailiff's back?
Not really. Andreas supported my activities until recently.
What happened?
I don't want to talk about it. Sorry.
Maybe he was pressured.
Did you have any suspects back then?
You can always find some suspect. I always dragged the most suspicious ones to the body in the morgue by force. And they threw up at the sight. Or fainted.
Couldn't it have just been an act?
Fainting? Vomiting? That's hard to act. I'd swear none of them did it.
What can you tell me about Yarka?
She wasn't the first. But thanks to her, people started taking an interest. She was a maid in a German family. By all accounts, she was a pious, polite girl. She was orphaned as a child. The priest from the Church of St. Peter and Paul, Father Prokop, raised her. They found her body tossed behind a barn at the edge of town. She was cut all the way from her neck downwards. An awful sight to behold.
Did you have any suspects?
At first, I thought the son from that family did it. A murderer is usually someone close, you know. But then I changed my mind.
Why?
Well, for one, I remembered the two girls before her who ended up almost the same. Besides that, when I talked to the lad, he seemed he wasn't the least bit interested in Yarka. Then his mother told me that they threw her out a week before the murder because she was a harlot who stayed out till all hours of the night. That really surprised me, because Father Prokop had vouched for her good reputation. But who knows? Maybe he just didn't want to admit what had become of her.
What about Stanya?
She was an alehouse wench in a tavern of ill repute called the Hole in the Wall.
You said her body was never found. Maybe she just got out of town.
You have no idea how much I'd like to believe that. Only there was a lot of blood. Unfortunately, the investigation wasn't very successful. The Hole is a world of its own, and the people there aren't very forthcoming with information.
Did you suspect anybody?
You could suspect every second man there. Those people have nothing but thievery and deceit in their eyes. The innkeeper, Mole, definitely knew Stanya, since she worked for him. But he isn't all that chatty either.
So if I want to learn anything more, I have to ask this Mole? In the hole?
Yeah. He still runs the place.
We know him.
And what about that Zdena? You said her body was never found.
Exactly. But to tell the truth, nobody spent much time looking for it. Besides Alice, Zdena was the most recent victim. It's only been a few weeks since she went missing, but I suppose nobody wanted to do any more digging.
But if her body was never found, how do you know she was killed?
Because she was the same type as the other girls. Maybe the prettiest of them all. Young, beautiful. A real live one. Lively as the devil. She was a thief. A pickpocket. I never could pin it on her, though. She always found some way to get out of it.
Maybe she robbed the wrong people and had to get out of town.
Maybe. She had a partner in crime by the name of Strunad. Quite a number. He's always sitting in the hole, boozing. When I asked him about Zdena, he told me he'd rather rip his own tongue out than talk.
Do you think he'd be more forthcoming with me?
He might be. You're not known all over town like a catchpole. It's worth a try. Besides, it might still be fresh in his memory. That would be a great help.
And what about the other two victims?
It all started with them, though nobody did much about it at the time. The first one worked as a bathhouse maid. They called her Chestnut. She'd only been in town for a short while, and nobody really knew her. So I couldn't find out anything more. But the other one, Libushka, she was from Loretz. She was a maidservant, too. I also talked to her mother. She said she was really cheerful and outgoing. There were lots of suitors circling around her, but she refused them all. She knew she was pretty, and knew she could do better than some farmhand.
You mean she wanted someone higher up?
That's what it sounded like. But her mother never found out who she had her eye on.
Interesting. I'll try to see what else I can find out from the mother. Where can I find her?
In the graveyard, lad. The poor woman died of grief. It's sad to say, but we can't help those 2 dead girls now. And they can't help us with our investigation either. There's nobody else left who could tell us anything about them.
Can you sum it all up for me?
We have 6 victims here. And I believe they were all murdered by the same killer. Unfortunately, we only know a little about the last 4, the most recent ones. By now, we won't learn anything about the first 2. Of the remaining 4, the first to be killed was the maidservant, Yarka. She was raised by Father Prokop from the Church of St. Peter and Paul. He should know the most about her. The next were Stanya and Zdena. Their bodies weren't found, but we assume they also became victims of the same murderer. They both hung around a tavern they called the Hole in the Wall. Stanya was an alehouse maid, and Zdena a pickpocket. And the last victim is Alice now, also a maid. What they all have in common is that they were young, beautiful, and brunette.
Good.
When you learn something more, you've aroused a bit of hope in me.
Okay, so the freaking priest guy. We just talked to him, right? So we can go back.
Father, I need to ask you a few questions.
I don't have time for theological discussions, my son.
That's not why I'm here. My name's Henry, and I wanted to ask about the murder that happened recently. Someone killed and gutted a young maidservant and left her body lying by the city walls. And I hear it's not the first time this has happened.
Another one murdered. May the Lord grant her eternal rest. Why is it you ask?
Somebody is murdering maids here. We have to put an end to it.
Yes, but those poor souls are already at God's side, and revenge never...
I don't want revenge. I want to stop more killing. That's a better reason, isn't it?
True enough. What do you need to know?
One of the other victims was a girl named Yarka. But I reckon you know that, don't you?
Hold on one sec.
What can you tell me about her?
About Yarka. She was an ordinary girl. She served the von Grahl family.
Where did you know Yarka from?
I knew her since she was a little girl. Knew her family.
And?
I was her uncle. When my brother and his wife died, I took care of her.
Who do you think killed her?
William, that pig of Satan. He gambles in the tavern on All Saints' Day and leads the locals astray. Yarka always went there to listen to music.
Why do you think it was William? Do you have any evidence?
Evidence? He's a skirt chaser, a tool of Satan. He messes with poor girls' heads.
And does anyone else come to mind? No other man spoke with her?
No. Absolutely not.
Well, I doubt that she would tell her priest uncle.
You raised her? A priest with a child?
Yes. Unfortunately, I'm not the first of the clergy to have a child on the side. But at least everyone knew Yarka wasn't my own daughter.
No offense, but how did you know what to do? Without a wife, without a family? I would have been lost.
I was a bit, son. When she was smaller, it was fine, but when she grew up a bit, maybe I was too hard on her.
How does that even work? Did you have her with you at the presbytery?
When she was small, I could. But when she grew up, she had to go. It wouldn't look right.
Why do you think you were too hard on her?
Yarko was an orphan, with no family and no possessions. Her only chance of a good life was a good upbringing. And then, a husband. But the more I led her in that direction, the more she resisted me.
You're well off, though. Couldn't you provide for her?
I couldn't. Even if she had been my very own. More so, since she was my brother's.
But how come?
The church's property always remains the church's. They keep a close eye on that.
Arms look fucking pale white.
How did she rebel against you?
She wouldn't listen. She ran away. She ran around with all sorts. And how did it turn out? She died. And in sin. Such a disgrace.
That's what he's worried about. My God.
Disgrace? What the devil are you talking about?
She was pregnant. Even if she had lived, what then? Nobody would want to marry her anymore.
Why don't you respect Lumir?
That's my business. You needn't concern
Not like
yourself
the
about
priest.
that. I won't tell you anything.
Come now, Father. I'm not just asking out of curiosity. This is about all the dead girls. Isn't it written in Scripture? Speak up for those who have no voice.
A layman quotes the Bible to me. Fine. Lumir accused me of her murder.
What?
Yes. He slandered me in public.
And how... What happened then?
It turned out he was deranged. How could he even think such a thing? He's finished in Kuttenberg.
I've heard enough, Father. I'll be going.
Son, I'll give you some good advice. Don't listen to Lumir. That man has gone completely mad.
As usual, fucking priest is just interested in himself and how things look. Like the priests. Obviously.
You're getting married tomorrow.
Sounds like trouble to me. God, you're all covered in blood. It was good to see you today.
Laying hand on family. Shame on you.
It's pissing down rain.
Greetings, my friend.
Did Estanya work here?
Stanya. Maybe. It depends on who's asking.
You know me.
My name's Henry.
Names don't interest me. The main thing is whether it's a good guest or a bad guest asking. What kind of guest are you, Henry?
I'm a good guest.
Really? Let's see. Do you know how to recognize a good guest?
By the fact he spends a lot of coin?
Aye. I like talking to them kind of guests. A lot. So, what'll it be, my good man?
What if I simply paid you, and you tell me what I want to know?
Ask away.
I want to know if Stanya worked here.
She did. And she don't know more. What's it to you?
I heard she disappeared without a trace. So I'm trying to find out if anyone had anything to do with it.
It's possible. The chamber she was sleeping in here was totally ransacked. The door open. Everything emptied out. And Stanya was gone. All I found were bloody footprints.
Tell me something else.
First, you'll have another beer. Or is it time to pay?
What?
If you want to ask, you have to drink. Didn't you get that?
You're quite the extortionist.
I prefer to be called an enterprising man of trade. So, what'll it be?
I don't want to pay you any more. I think you could answer my questions directly and not always try to wheedle money out of me. That makes it look like you might have some motive for keeping me from finding out anything about that murder.
Nonsense. How could you think that? Come on. Ask me anything you want.
Did anybody see what actually happened when Stanya disappeared?
No, it was at night. Nobody saw or heard anything. The tavern tends to be empty at that hour. And you won't meet many people on the street, neither.
What was Stanya like? What can you tell me about her?
A bold woman. One has to be here. Everyone's ballsy here unless you nib it in the bud right away. She was hanging around a bard for a while. I don't know how close they were, but she also had another suitor.
Someone from the city?
No, a charcoal burner. I heard he was from somewhere in the, Verchlitz Valley. I think his name was Barton?
What do you know about that bard?
What about him? He's a minstrel, a skirt chaser. What more can I say? He called himself William. As far as I know, he plays in the Miners' Tavern in the evenings. But sometimes he shows up here, too.
You think he might have been the one who...
Now that you mention it, he cleared out of town for a while.
It's the second time you hear his name.
Ago. It could be him, all right. I know he met with some odd people and talked about God knows what. Like bloody spies. Besides, you know what minstrels are like. Lasses just flock to them. And like they say, opportunity makes the thief.
Or in this case, a murderer. Apart from those men, did anyone else know Stanya? I mean, more intimately.
Well, I've got bad news for you. She had two close friends, but you won't get much out of either of them.
Why?
One was hit by a cart, even before Stanya disappeared. And she died. And the other one got married and moved away.
How did Stanya's room look?
The door was wide open. Most of her things were gone, but some remained. And there was blood all over the place.
Blood? Was there a lot?
Not so much, really. More like hand or footprints. But they were near everywhere. If someone done her in, they definitely didn't do it in that chamber.
Where can I find this Barton?
I already told you. In the Verchlitz Valley.
Could you be a bit more precise?
I don't know that bloke at all. All I know is he's a charcoal burner. So if I was you, I'd look somewhere around the charcoal kilns.
That's all I need to know.
Okay.
Greetings.
Excuse me.
If you get hungry,
Good day to you. Oh, sir.
What are you here?
What's...
Try asking at the Kingfisher Bathhouse. They say the...
Betty the bathkeeper?
Aye, that's the one. So, but that's all I know.
Aye, I'll go...
And that's...
That doesn't sound bad.
Ah, Betty.
With you.
greetings to you, friend.
Hey. Strand.
Are you Sternad? The one that went with Zdenna?
Who the fuck are you?
Just an ordinary bloke who has some questions.
Well then, piss off. You won't get any answers here. All you're gonna get here is a kick in the teeth.
Why so rash? That kind of attitude will do you no favors. Let's make a deal. You tell me everything you know about Zdena, and I'll make sure you're no worse for wear.
Ah. You're the lord what that whore robbed. Don't worry about it. She weren't nothing but a lying bitch.
So, if I understand correctly, we can make a deal?
For the right price, I'll tell you all I know.
Is this the...
You fucking bet it is.
Where can I find Zdena?
Aye. That's what I like to fucking know too. Last time I saw her... Well, that'd be back when she managed to fleece you.
Yeah. Well, I'd like to find her.
I can well imagine. Well, she went to Ravstein Mill. It's quite a long ways away. She had some unfinished business with some bloke called Pint. Ain't nobody seen her since then.
What can you tell me about Zdena?
What do you want to hear? I try to keep her out of trouble, but there's just no helping some women.
So you were taking care of her?
Well, just in front of the others. Other than that, she did what she wanted. Always made her mind up and did things her own way.
So you weren't too fond of her?
Not really, no. But she did have a knack for making coin.
Did she have any friends or lovers who'd know more? Did anybody come here to see her?
Who come to see that bitch? She was always off somewhere, seeing someone. Although, once...
Someone came to see her?
Well, aye. Some stuffed frog came here once. All old and decrepit. He said he had some job for her. That she should leave behind her sinful life and all that shit. But he left empty-handed. She told him to go to hell.
Do you know who that priest was?
Some fucking Prokop or Pravoslav or some such shit. But that reminds me, I saw her a couple of times with another bastard. That fucking bard, William.
And could she have run away with this bard, William?
With that lily-livered fop? Well, he ain't been seen in town for some time, but I think someone was out to get him. He still don't come here no more. He plucks that loot of his in the Miners' Tavern. The wee shit.
What do you know about this priest?
Not much. Seems they knew each other from before. And he had some job for her somewhere. Serving as a maid or something. But she weren't stupid. She told him to fuck right off.
And did he go?
Aye, indeed. He didn't look like the kind of fella that would knock some sense into a woman. I think he just told her if she changed her mind to come and see him. Or some shit like that.
And could she have changed her mind and gone to him? And that's why nobody's seen her?
No, no. She took off. I'm sure about that.
I've heard enough.
Is that right? Get the.
I'm
Let's
sorry.
see Betty first.
Greetings to you too.
What can I do for you, sir?
I hear you're having some problems with the city council.
Has word got round already? Oh, wonderful.
What's going on?
The leeches have run out of ideas who to bleed dry, so they've come up with a new tax on us.
What tax?
The clean tax, they call it. One bathhouse in Kutenberg will be chosen that won't have to pay into the city coffers. The official municipal bathhouse, they're going to call it. But they'll slap the clean tax on the rest of us and bleed us dry.
How much will the tax be?
A lot more than I can afford. I already have to think twice before spending a single groschen, and every extra cost will only make it worse. I'll have to close down before the first snows.
Do you already know which baths they'll choose? As a municipal bathhouse, couldn't it be yours?
I'd have to be friends with the councillors for them to vote for me. But do you know who has votes for sure?
Adam, I'd reckon.
That's right. And when he gets special status, I'll be ruined by the tax and have to close.
It almost sounds like that's no accident.
You find it fishy as well, eh?
Do you think he's behind it?
He couldn't do something like this on his own. But he does have one special customer. Councillor Jerome Naz. That man has half the council under his thumb. And Adam treats him like a king. The best girls, the best wine. And he's never had to pay a single groschen, believe me.
So Adam is buying him?
Exactly. And I bet he was the one who came up with the clean tax. Extra coin. No councillor will say no to that.
Is there anything we can do?
I don't know. These last days I've been trying to persuade at least some councillors to vote for me. But without Naz's supporters, it won't do me much good.
How many of them promised to vote for you?
A few. But even those are not certain. The leeches are happy to take your coin and promise you the world. But how they'll vote, only God knows.
Well, what if this Naz had a nasty experience in Adam's bathhouse? Maybe he and Adam wouldn't be so close anymore.
That might not be a bad idea. If he thought they couldn't care less about him, maybe he'd give my bathhouse a try.
Right. So what are we going to do to him?
I'd try asking the wenches at Adams. They're bound to know the councillor's likes and dislikes.
Right. I'll try to spoil his day somehow.
Thanks very much. It's wonderful you're willing to help. But please, don't leave it too long. It's not long till the council meets, and I need to win over those votes before then.
Okay, so we have to do this soon. Soon. So we know the priest at least knows 2 of the girls.
Let it be known that a new one-off tax is to be levied in this city. I know that times are hard, and none of us have much to spare. But look around. Crime of all kinds is surging in the city, with dubious characters moving in. Charlatans, sellers of worthless tax.
It's William, right? I need to talk to you.
What is it? Do we know each other? Do I owe you money?
My name's Henry. And no, we don't know each other, and you don't owe me money. But we do have something in common. We have a lot of mutual friends.
What? What do you want of me? I don't have to talk to you.
Well, you don't have to, that's true. But you should. It's in your own best interest.
What are you talking about?
If you don't start giving me some answers right now, I reckon you'll end up begging in the streets. Because I'll break all your fingers, and you'll never play the lute again, you miserable minstrel.
What? No!
That's how you do a
Come
threat.
on, I didn't do anything!
Stop whining and talk, or I'll be the one doing something to you.
Come on. All right, then. Ask away.
Did you know Alice?
I know a lot of Alices. You have to be more specific.
The one they found dead somewhere below the town walls.
Oh, her. I didn't know her, but I heard about it.
I heard she used to go to dances.
Yeah, and? I'm not the only musician in the city. I really didn't know her.
They say she had a rich young suitor. Do you know anything about that?
Me? Do I look rich to you? I get paid in food.
But you could at least pass yourself off as wealthy.
Or I could claim to be the Virgin Mary, but I doubt anyone would believe me.
And did you ever meet Yarka? It was a long time ago, but I heard she used to hang around you a lot. And Father Prokop didn't like it.
Oh, that one. Aye, she was very keen on my company for a while, but then she stopped coming.
Because somebody killed her?
I know what happened was a tragedy, but it wasn't my fault. She stopped talking to me long before that. Honest.
And did you know she was pregnant?
What? Yarka was... That's horrible. Who would kill a pregnant woman?
That's what I'd like to find out. What about the unwilling father-to-be? It wouldn't happen to be yours, would it?
What? Mine? I never even got under her skirt. We just flirted a bit, and then she stopped coming by.
And can you tell me anything else about it?
I don't know anything. It was a long time ago. You said so yourself.
And I hear you knew Stanya.
Which one do you mean?
The alehouse wench from the hole. I heard you had something with her too.
Well, she batted her eyes at me a couple of times when I was still playing there. A nice girl, but I didn't know her much.
Well, the innkeeper Mole told me a different story. He said you were the one coming on to her.
Fine, we had a bit of fun together. But she was always the one who started it.
And aren't you just saying that because she left you?
Oh, come on! I could have any woman, if I wanted. The innkeeper must have got it mixed up. He's an old drunkard after all. If I was you, I wouldn't take him too seriously.
And what about Zdena? You knew her, right?
Do I know Zdena? As wild as the wind and always full of life. And those nimble fingers. You always had to check your purse around her.
Did she steal something from you?
A traveling minstrel doesn't have much to steal, but she was well aware of that. She was on the lookout for some better prey.
You don't happen to know who she wanted to rob?
There were lots. Anyone she thought was rich enough who let her ply her charms for a while. Like young von Groller. When he started coming here, she got to him right away. Said she was gonna rob him blind. As far as I know, she didn't succeed. If she robbed a noble like von Groller, word would get around. Look, why are you asking me about all this? You don't seriously think I killed her, do you?
Well, you did know them all.
And? I'm surely not the only one.
That may be true. But everybody knows you're a skirt chaser, and they were all pretty girls. And now, they're dead.
But I had nothing to do with it!
So you didn't do anything to them?
No! Why would I? What would I get out of it? It doesn't make any sense. It goes against God.
You dare invoke God?
I admit, I'm no saint, but for Christ's sake, I'd never kill anybody.
Good. I believe you. But if any clue leads me back here to you, I won't give you a second chance.
You won't hear about me again, I swear to God.
I meant to, like, check out the crime scene as well. Or did they go away after? Oops. Did they go away after? It's like it went away. I can't remember where it was. Must have been in that house. After we talked to the Prokost guy. And if this was my house, I would take, I don't know, tax. Walk through tax.
And come to learn the art of swordsmanship.
That's the bathhouse.
welcome, sir. What can I do for you?
I'll have a look at your web.
Happy to be of service, sir. What'll it be?
I'd like to...
I
need a hot...
Alright.
I'll
You...
It should take an hour, right? Yep. Okay, very good.
Humble respects.
You're always welcome here, good sir.
Do you know Councillor Naz? I heard he comes here from time to time.
A councillor? I don't think so. But try asking Mary. She serves the nobles.
Which one is she?
You'll know her when you see her. She ain't the youngest. She's bound to be around here somewhere.
I'll ask. Thanks.
My friend?
I heard Councillor Naz is one of your customers. Is that true?
Maybe he is, maybe he isn't. I can't share our secrets with you, can I?
You can tell me. I could tell right away you have important duties here, and that you'd know about an honoured guest like Naz.
Well, It's true, I'm the only one allowed to prepare him wine. Nobody else is allowed to even touch his barrel.
He has his own special drink.
Special and expensive. Adam gets it from... Actually, I don't know where he gets it from, but it's from somewhere far away. I secretly tasted it once, and it was...
Horrible?
I suppose my tongue isn't refined enough.
Is Naz's wine stored properly? If it's so precious...
The water in the background.
It's kept in the pantry with the other casks, but this one stands on these tall legs. Adam's afraid of it splashing on the floor when it's being poured, or something.
Oh, that makes sense. If it's so precious. Is there anything Naz doesn't like? Something you're forbidden from doing?
Doesn't like? I don't know.
He's never complained about anything? Never been unhappy about something?
Oh, he can't stomach herbs, actually. I recently brought some chamomile brew to his bath to give him a compress on his eyes. But the drunk Burke drank it when I wasn't looking. He came out in nasty rashes. Horrible it was.
Chamomile, you say? Interesting. I'll have to go now. But thanks. You've been a great help.
What with?
That's not important.
Pleased to be of service, you man of mystery. Take care now.
I do have chamomile brew, so that's good.
I'm sorry?
Let it be. I thought we need to go down somewhere.
So what bothered you so much?
At your
You
service,
were a
sir.
real fucker, as it had. I know.
Excuse me.
Greetings.
I was in this
What
house
do you
before,
need?
right?
Do you know Jerome Naz? He's a Kuttenberg councillor, and they say he comes here now and again.
Of course I know him. Me and the girls look after him like one of our own.
What services do you give him?
Ooh, wouldn't you like to know? All the girls do their own bit. We make certain Councillor Naz gets the best treatment.
And what do you do?
Wouldn't you like to know? But you need to make it worth my while.
Of course.
Coin won't catch me a husband. But a pretty dress, that might do it.
I'll try to get hold of one.
I look forward to it. Take care, sir.
I want to ask...
I know you...
I'll try to get hold...
I look forward to... Farewell.
I have one. Can sell it. Sold it.
hope he enjoys the herbs.
Good, right? So do that. Chicken.
What the hell is this? Wanted to break in here, did you?
No. Who are you?
I hope nothing's missing.
Come on, come and have a sip.
I'd be with you.
Have you got anything good to drink here?
Of course I do, handsome. Would you like some? And then
No thanks.
suit yourself, handsome.
Do you know Councillor Naz?
The name don't come to mind, but I ain't been here long, and I don't know all the noblemen yet. You'll have to ask the other girls.
I will. Thanks.
Take care, my friend.
I want to...
I know.
I've got a...
Oh, look! Wow, it's gorgeous.
It's all yours. Now, what can you tell me about Naz and his visits?
Of course, it's the same every time. I go upstairs to prepare a bath for him. It can't be too hot or too cold. And then Adam gives me this fragrant oil, and I have to mix that in.
That's some special treatment, isn't it?
We don't do that for anyone else. I hear it's awfully expensive, but only the best for Councillor Naz. Well, that's what Adam says.
I understand.
Well, then he has his bath, eats and drinks and discusses important issues with Adam and the other wealthy guests. And then he usually goes home or stays on with some girl. It depends.
Could you show me the fragrant oil?
I ain't got it. Adam's really careful with it, so he only gives it to me when Councillor Naz comes. Then he locks it up somewhere in his room upstairs.
You said Naz talks to Adam during bathing. What about? Do you know?
No, I don't. I don't listen to them. Boring stuff, usually. About the city council, about money, blah, blah, blah. I mind my own business.
What does the oil look like? Is it in some pitcher?
No, it's small. A little bottle with a cork. A bit like perfume. Aye, and it's got something painted on it. Colourful flowers like.
What would happen if you broke the little bottle, say, or if someone stole it?
Don't say that. Not even as a joke. That would be the death of me. Adam would hit the roof, but Naz would be even more pissed off.
He always asks for it, eh?
Sometimes I wonder if he only comes here because he likes the way the bath smells. He can't stop praising it. It's like it puts him under a spell or something.
Right. I was just curious. But I've got to go now. Thanks for the chat.
Thank you for the dress. Take care, sir.
Henry is not suspicious at all, is he?
What do you think about the clean tax they're going to levy?
Don't talk to me about it. It's an outrage. The council has run out of ideas for collecting revenue, so they are fleecing honest businessmen now.
What are you going to do? pay.
What choice do I have? I don't want to get into trouble, but it's disgusting.
I'll be off now.
Farewell. Excuse me?
Greetings. Good day.
Was? This door was locked.
My God, he didn't see me. Should have fucking
That's
saved.
odd. Who opened this?
Oh my God.
You can't be here. Surrender at once! All right, all right. You caught me. I surrender.
Now I'll show you. You can't say you weren't. You'll pay up. How do you have any? Oh, that's taken care of. Off you go now.
Yeah, yeah.
That's it. And next time.
Oh, at least I think I know where the room is then.
I apologize.
What would you like?
My, what muscles you have. With a man like you, I'd feel safe even in the deepest, darkest forests.
That's from working every day, dawn till dusk. In the evening, it's all I can do to eat and fall into bed. I don't have time to sit around in taverns.
Probably have to come back during night. So this is where's the gallows? I'd go here actually. Not the gallows is at the front. Gallows. Yeah, I definitely can't remember where the gallows are. Mention it, because we were meant to take something from someone hanging a dead person. As you do. There's nothing here. Ugh. Maybe I went too deep. It's a fucking labyrinth. That's exactly where I started. Is there one higher, basically? Maybe I should get this map first. Looks like iron. Okay, stream up or stream down? So this looks like exit.
At your service, sir.
Okay, so we came from here. We'll go in here. So if you're wading through water, I actually can't run. It's like an onion and a little sheep figure.
Must have been left over from the smugglers.
go this way or that way? I mean, let's go bottom first, I guess. Something. Boy. Maybe it's a sign I should save. Coal. Okay, let's save, just in case. Okay, steps, wooden walkway.
Who's that? What? You can't just stroll around here without some...
All Saints Tavern. What's his name? Oh my god, so many ways. Metal longsword. What is that sign? Oh, that's just save. Not save. Load. And we just go left. Straight up, so we don't walk into this person at all. So we went this way. Let's check out here. Too many possibilities. Should have grabbed the map. God. There is a wooden stake in his heart, and then like a stone on his mouth, and there's onion on top. I think this is a... Yeah. And if I take this away, will the vampire awake? That's the question. Well. Just some random house. So this is someone's fucking. Okay. Baker. I need to get into the baker. They can basically get into each house from the bottom. A lot of houses from the bottom, I guess. So this is where we came from, right? Yeah. Left, right. So last time we went this way. Same house, just from the other side. Steal some shit. Looks like a bit of internal fighting. Ah. Okay. So probably actually want to go this way, so we're checking out this first. That's the dog as well. So anyways, wow, getting around. They have getting in really in every house. That's it. This is where we actually want to go. But or you just find an entrance there. Not to describe it all. And that's a smuggler's storehouse. Probably gonna save again. Just in case. So real. Pick up this scroll. They have so much shit. Satin. At. Stinking perfume. It's super heavy as well. Serious arsenal, yeah. Oh god. It's... Oh my god, it's too many. Are we cobbler? I could hear voices. That will basically be the same. Huh? Okay. So what's down here though? God, it's going down further as well. This is like a labyrinth. So what house is this? Taylor.
You can't be here.
in here? I want to say no. They really went into every single house. Alright, so we'll head back towards the stash house and then up the stairs and then back to... Correct. Okay, so I think we're in the right spot. So we have to go up 2 stairs and then we head back where we found the dead bodies of the smugglers. And then we basically have everything. Like I didn't walk into every house, obviously. But, so it was just straight. So each side tunnel is just a way to a house where they dig side tunnels to then get to the house from below. Although each house, of course, has a door to this smugglers. The weaponsmith. Ella. Just leave them. Shit. There was someone behind that door.
Good day to you. I
Yeah.
was just about... What would you like, sir?
Sell shit.
What do
Because
I was glad to be of help to you, good sir.
oof. We made it.
Your seat, I apologize.
Careful.
So be careful who you buy from, and avoid dealing with dishonest types who are no better than criminals. For the crimes of theft and fraud, this man will be thrashed with a cane and will forfeit all his property. This will mean his good neighbour can be paid what he did. Huh?
I'm sorry.
It happens. Just watch where you're going next time.
It took so long. It's insane. I guess let's go here. I didn't realize that took so long. That's my dog.
Heel. You're my doggy, eh? Here you go. Take it.
Yep. Okay, we wanna fight the guy. Did ring.
You're always welcome.
I'm sorry.
I'll challenge. You're not listening to me, eh?
It's night. Can I sit here? Let's read this.
I'm sorry.
I'll challenge. Then you shall have. But first, let's clear.
All right.
First of all, fight like a man. You stick your nose out. If you've had enough, feel free to.
Do you expect this?
No. On Prince, and be so kind and try not to stomp around here.
All right.
We'll go over there.
Didn't see that.
Oh, there you go. And then we have to steal that bottle of perfume.
There. That's that. That wound. Oh, I haven't got a beating like that since I buried my pa.
Don't be hard on yourself. You're no pushover either.
You better believe it. And my best years are long gone. Well, you beat me fair and square, I admit it. Perhaps God sent you to me as a sign I should take it easy in my old age.
Well, it's true someone sent me here. But it wasn't God.
But with a successor like you, I don't really mind. I don't have much.
And what?
You mean what sort of... Sometimes you've got to fix... Nothing is safe. I can show you or tell you how to sneak up on...
What can you...
I don't...
What sort of skill...
Here in the ground... And so... I can...
Well...
Not right now.
I'd like to...
Not right...
Okay, so we have to go back and steal that. But I'm gonna have to head off. I go with the dog. I am back later. So thank you very much for watching so far, and see you later.